T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What do you got to eat? Here, guys. Ooh. What's this say? I don't know. What's that say? I know, but I'm not gonna tell. I think it says it's good.
Conjecture Hoops contains all the presumptions, assumptions, and off-the-wall postulations a growing kid needs. Conjecture Hoops, a big bowl of bullshit. Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.
Please welcome Max Headshrew, Dell, Aria Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben Motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
I like that.
Hey.
That's a
Cool
it's
intro.
a lot. That's a lot easier to just have one video like that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Max. Good thinking.
Hey, no worries, man.
Good thinking.
Of course, the day that I choose to include Nick in the introduction is a day where he doesn't turn up.
Yeah,
In it, Nick.
all the fucking tier 1 comics, well, we're tier 1 comics doing it. The Aria, the Mortal Asadi creative team is sleeping in today. Can't get either of them on the phone, but that's all right. I always do.
Busy doing their shit, man.
Yeah, they're busy boys. Busy having families and being active duty, special forces, whatever. Whatever, dude. I come up with funny ideas for Max to draw. That takes just as much time. Right? Takes more time, actually, I think.
Aria,
Yes.
I made the assumption that your favourite out of these two would be Sonic the Hedgehog, and it would appear by your name that I'm right. I made that assumption
How would you
because
guess?
because of the furry adjacent thing.
Because of the way that you
Oh.
have sex with people that think they're animals.
Yeah, because of the way that you get dressed up as an animal and go away to hotels with other people that get dressed up as animals and then have sex with them.
Well, I didn't come on this stream today to get kink shamed. I can't believe this.
I'm not shaming you for it. No, you misunderstand.
No, we're not
I'm not shaming
shaming
you for it. I'm
This
just
is
saying
kink.
that is some. Yeah, I'm just saying that it is something that you definitely do. But I'm not saying
Just
there's
saying
anything
I've
wrong with
become
it. I'm just saying
predictable.
that you definitely do it.
Yeah, also,
This is kink.
I don't like coming, so yeah.
This is kink praise, actually.
Yeah,
Kink praise, okay.
kink praise. Yeah,
Hey. So long as it sells books, whatever.
yeah.
Hey, backtail us.
He's got no tail, so there's nothing in the way of his.
Yeah, he's not as fast as Sonic, but he's got abs and shit like that. So
Yeah, he's got rippling muscles.
That's true.
So, in what order are we going to grade
Sonic-
these?
Well, I got 5 criteria.
yeah.
The video games, obviously, is the first thing which comes to mind. And I think the music of the video games is pretty great in both, so we should talk about that. Then you got your cartoons and your live actions. And then as a tiebreaker, we can look at just character design overall,
Okay.
which might be fun because we can like look at pictures of like all the Bowser kids and stuff, and like
Yeah,
all the
man.
different Sonic animals. I like both.
Yeah, I like both, but that's the beauty of the show, man. We've got to pick the one.
I know, but I mean, I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna decide based on our conversation.
You don't like both, Aria?
No. The only Mario media I enjoy is the first Mario Kart that came out on Nintendo DS. Other than that, I don't really give a fuck.
Well, you're wrong.
It's all conjecture.
Yeah, this is all conjecture, of course. We're just going to see whose conjecture is the strongest.
Which conjecture's right?
Yeah.
Which conjecture is the strongest? That's the right way to think about it. Yeah.
I feel like Mario's fingers sink deeper into the past of games, far deeper than Sonic the Hedgehog, because of Donkey Kong. Because the original Donkey Kong, he's in the original Donkey Kong, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The players.
Is he the bad guy in that?
No, he's the good guy. Oh, sorry, yeah, Donkey Kong's the bad guy. Yeah.
No, I think Mario's the bad guy.
Mario.
Isn't Mario dropping like barrels or something?
No, Donkey Kong's dropping the barrels, and you've got to get to the top. It's essentially a Mario game that's called Donkey Kong.
I see.
Wait a minute. I think there's. But then isn't there a game called Donkey Kong Jr. where you play as a Wii?
So there's
as a Wii monkey lad.
Yeah, there's the original Donkey Kong where you play as Mario. And Donkey Kong's at the top throwing barrels at you. Then there was all the Mario games. Then there was the Donkey Kong game where you play as Donkey Kong. Then there's Donkey Kong Jr. and all that. But originally Donkey Kong was just a boss that sits at the top of the screen throwing barrels at you.
But there is one game. I think it's Donkey Kong Jr. where you play as Donkey Kong's like son or something, and Mario has him in a cage, and Mario's bad.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. They do.
I think that's
have multiple ways of.
I think that's Donkey Kong Jr.
Right. I suppose what I'm saying is, does Sonic exist? Does Sonic even exist without Super Mario? I don't think so. In the same way that Thundercats doesn't exist without He-Man, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Without the competition, there'd be no need for Sonic.
Like Sonic the Hedgehog is the 80s ramped up version of Sega's version of Mario on steroids, right?
Yeah.
How do we top the side-scrolling platform game, which was like the most popular at the time? Well, we make it super fucking rapid, right? And have him fly everywhere with his blue steel 80s hair. And then be original for the last time ever.
So that was, that was the idea behind Sonic, right? Like they wanted to take advantage of the graphics card that the Sega Genesis had that could like facilitate like rapid movement, like fast-paced gameplay. So they're like, well, we need a game that is going to move a lot faster. That you
I remember
from one end of the platform to the other end of the.
Yeah, I remember going over to a friend's house when I was at primary school. It couldn't have been more than like 8 years old, and he had the first Sonic the Hedgehog on his Master System. Absolutely blew my mind, man. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah,
crazy cool. But how many games did they do that? Yeah, I like them. But how many games did they do? Like just on the Mega Drive 3, was it, or 2?
So they did.
They did Sonic and Knuckles.
Then they did Sonic. Yeah, that was on the Mega Drive. So all 4 of them were on the Mega Drive.
I would argue
there was 4. So it was Sonic and then Sonic 2. Go ahead.
I would argue that after those 3 or 4,
You keep.
what do I keep doing?
Stopping. Keep saying what you're saying. Why do you
Okay.
keep doing
I would
that?
argue after those 3 or 4 that there weren't any more good Sonic games.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I would argue with you both on that one.
Yeah. What would you?
See,
what
I
would you...
grew up. I was the PlayStation 2 generation, right?
Uh-huh.
So the very first Sonic game I played was Shadow the Hedgehog, and
Oh, really?
that game, like in prep for the show, I was watching what people thought of that game, and no one seems to like it, but it's my favorite Sonic game.
Is it 3D?
Yeah, nobody does like it.
The cutscenes, they tried to be 3D. It's like rudimentary.
Right.
It looks rubbish, like compared to today's standards, but it was like it's captured my imagination as a kid, and I don't get it. I think it's cool. And I love the PS2 generation of Sonic games. I guess that's just what I grew up on. Like. They did the whole side scroller thing, but now we have 3D, so like you're behind Sonic and you can move left and right as well.
Yeah, when they first started doing that, I think it worked less well than the original side-scrolling equivalent. But as far as the aesthetics go, it's weird how retro aesthetics sort of come round and become popular again. There was a time where like the 8-bit sort of pixel art was sort of seen as unfashionable, and then it sort of quickly came into that really cool retro look. I felt the same about like early PlayStation graphics, but I think now with things like retro wave and all that sort of aesthetic, they're sort of bringing that that sort of graphical aesthetic. It's back in the sort of retro zeitgeist of being sort of retroactively cool now. And I never thought that would come around because I didn't think that initial sort of 3D graphics held up as well. But I suppose it's just a matter of time, really. But yeah, I still don't think that the gameplay, like,
I can't really.
When they recently did a Sonic sequel that was 2D in the last couple of years, and I think that's the best one I've played for a long time.
Mario did the same thing though, where they went from the side scrolling to trying 3D out, and I feel like it. What do you think? Do you prefer the side scroll or the 3D version?
Well, the thing is about but I think Nintendo, because Nintendo are a bigger company, and I think they tend to be more creative than Sega. Like Mario 64 I think that was the first 3D Mario game, and that was an absolute smash, right? Because it was like an open world Mario game. Like no one had ever seen that before. I don't think like the Sonic and the Hedgehog equivalents are anywhere near as good as like Mario 64. Like the Mario 64 is a bit more like, it's got a bit of a Zelda feel to it almost.
I agree with everything Max said, and I also add that even at his best, even in those games which I adore for the Sega Genesis Mega Drive, I think is what you call it. Even those games, there's a deficiency, which is that the only thing that Sonic does is jump. So like you jump to clear obstacles, you jump to pass platforms, you jump to attack enemies. There's no other attack, there's no other movement, there's no other action, and there's even 3 buttons on the Genesis to accommodate like multiple abilities for characters, which was exploited in other games beautifully, and all 3 of them does this thing, which is to jump. So that's not ideal. You got Mario throwing fireballs, flipping his cape, you know what I mean, flying. So
yeah, the Mario games are actually cleverly concealed behind a very simplistic layout, but they're actually, there's way more depth to them than meets the eye if you keep playing. And where I'd say where the Sonic games seem to be a lot more shallow than that.
Yeah, the Sonic games are definitely more shallow. I'm with you on that. But it's the same thing that Image did, right? Where it's all about the looks, less about the what's in it.
Look, if I'm
that's my
picking
jam.
No, I agree. Like if I'm picking aesthetics, like aesthetically, I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Aesthetically, is like Sonic the Hedgehog is, and everything around him in the environment that they created is like he's almost the 80s personified for kids. It's got when you see all the that retro wave stuff where it's sort of that you look at sort of remade 80s media, but it's how you imagined it to be. It's not how it actually was, with the palm trees and the setting sun and the neon logos. All of that exists within a Sonic the Hedgehog level. He's got the flipping spiky blue 80s hair. He's like burning down the road like Outrun. The palm trees are behind him, and you've got the little yellow and pink sun. Like it's bang on. That's why I really enjoy it. And I think Mario is just less. There's just less bite to him. Like it's definitely, it's sort of leans towards like Japanese anime more. But I happen to enjoy that retro sort of 80s. I enjoyed it then. I probably enjoy it even more now. So yeah, I'll be with you on the aesthetic of the game, definitely. Although when they started to go 3D, I think they lost a lot of that. That started to turn into something else. I think.
Well,
there was
the first
3D.
One of the first Sonic games that was in 3D tried to maintain that rhythm of running through the level really fast, and I think like even though the graphics for 3D. Oh no! Am I on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I got disconnected. So even though the graphics looked quite good, there was something lacking. Movement. Because like a lot of games from around that time that were racing games were infamous for having like bad controls, like Diddy Kong Racing, for example. And so that kind of applied to the game because you're trying to clear the level, but it's like trying to be an adventure game and a racing game at the same time because you're basically, even though it's Sonic, but you're moving what feels like a vehicle as fast, trying to do it as fast as you can. And I don't know if I'm just dumb, but I just kept on running and trees and things, and I didn't find it that fun. I don't know. I think it didn't work.
I agree. I had the same issue. Like I come to a Sonic game thinking this is about speed, right? So you want the game to be simplistic. Right. You want it to be essentially like Outrun. Like it like you say, it's essentially it's a racing game disguised as a platformer.
Right.
And every time you stop, it feels jerky to the player, so it doesn't really meld very well with being an RPG. And they sort of tried to turn 3D. It into a bit of an RPG. Yeah. And they had like human characters as well, which I found really weird. Like didn't.
I always hate when there's human beings in Sonic. That ruined a lot of the cartoons for me. Like
he needs to stay where he's from.
Exactly, I agree completely. Like there was one version that came out when I was not that young, you know, around the time that the Ninja Turtles did as well. Like I should have researched the years. I'll tell you in a bit. But the one that's called Sonic X.
Yeah.
And finally, they had Knuckles, which was always missing from the other Sonic cartoons. And they looked real as well. Like they were the perfect visual versions of characters, and I was really excited. And I had Amy and all this stuff. In 2005 that came out, and then the first episode of Sonic X, Sonic gets pulled out of his world and into our world, and there's some piece of shit precocious kid that I don't care about. And like and basically they made it, and basically it's Digimon, you know, Digimon but with Sonic instead of Digimon, and I didn't like that.
It's
at
weird
all.
because that's a trope that
You know?
was for making fantasy films in the 80s when they didn't have the budget. The sequel was always the barbarian comes to Earth because it's cheaper to shoot
Right.
shoot it in like New York City than it is to go out and make everything look like Lord of the Rings.
Right, but
And they did it with He-Man, right? With the He-Man movie, which really disappointed me as a kid. Like all the best bits
which I like.
He-Man is yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
why you would do it with an animation there is beyond me. It's just a shit idea.
Right. Because that's a good point actually, because you're drawing everything, so you don't. There's no budgetary restriction that would make it easier for Sonic to be in our world. But at that point, they're doing it because they're just recycling tropes and ideas, and that's my big criticism of all of the cartoons. All the cartoons for both of these franchises are uninspired and and lazy. Like if you look at look through the episode list of any of them, it's just any random thing that has nothing to do with Sonic or Mario, and then that's just kind of like the skin for it,
Yeah.
Any recyclable idea for a 22-minute cartoon show that you can think of, they just made one, and but it's with Sonic, right?
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do, and there's no like big conflict between him and his adversary. The adversary is just a stand-in for any like dopey bad guy that isn't to be feared. I didn't like it. Well, although there was one good Sonic cartoon, which was the second version, which is just called Sonic the Hedgehog, and that one had really cool like sci-fi transhumanism stuff, like animals getting turned into cyborgs, and actually like an ongoing conflict between the animals trying to get free, like fighting for nature and independence from technology, and then like Robotnik striving to convert the entire world into
that sounds close, a lot closer to the game.
Hell. Right.
Yeah,
that was the best cartoon. That's the best cartoon of any of these.
Yeah, I
So while I'm on the topic, because otherwise we won't get around to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it on that. I remember watching the Mario cartoon, a couple of episodes when I was a bit younger, and thinking it was a pile of shit. It was just like you say, it was just the Mario skin. It wasn't really.
It is a pile of shit.
Wasn't a great cartoon for a kid. They often fail.
Right,
like,
but the show called Sonic the Hedgehog, that one I would recommend.
Okay.
So have a look at this, and you'll see what I mean.
That's the important thing.
We've got to get you back to Knothole. Warp 7.
It's too late, Sonny.
Uncle Chuck? No way am I leaving you here.
Sonic, he's turned back.
You gotta come with me.
Sonic!
Uncle Chuck!
Come on, Sugar Hog!
Uncle Chuck!
Sonic, we have to leave him.
I should have saved him.
Y'all did what you could, honey. We couldn't bring him back. He's loyal to Robotnik.
We'll get him back another day, Sonic. Promise.
Yeah. And look what we did with Uncle Chuck. We totaled that crystal.
That's disturbing.
So you can see a lot of the different animals there.
It's
Go ahead,
surprising to me how like I've taken themes from that show, and like I can see them in my book. Like I hadn't thought about it until you just brought the clip up then. Like the whole turning, like the transhumanism thing. Like some of these characters are robots, but with feelings and stuff. Like a lot of that is in Taylor's, except they got 6-packs.
Yeah. You've got the Taylor's has got a bit of Thundercats in there as well, right?
Yeah.
You've injected some testosterone in there. Fantastic. Yeah, I
Taylor's is basically Sonic the Hedgehog plus Thundercats plus like Mega Man or something, and in space. So it's much
Yeah,
more
it's
fun.
fucking cool, man. Did you watch that when you were a kid, Arya?
But that
No, right?
yeah.
Max, maybe
I
you
watched
knew this, right?
I did.
What was I can't remember the name of the show, right? In the UK, if you don't have Sky, then you're limited to just the Freeview channels, right? And that's what I was like, right?
Yes,
and there was this one channel, I think it was called Kicks. I can't remember though. And it was basically the free channel that if you didn't have if you had Sky, then you could watch Cartoon Network and all those sorts of things. But if you didn't, then you had to watch this other channel where they got basically all the cheap cartoons.
Yeah.
And the Sonic cartoon was called Sonic Underground, right? I don't know if have you seen that one? Have you even tuned of it?
Is this the one where he likes chili dogs for no reason?
I think so. But the weird thing about it is they've all
They
got
all
a
do.
musical
They all
theme, right? Like
Yeah.
Sonic has a pendant with a guitar on it, and when he starts fighting, the guitar comes to life, and he like fights with musical notes and stuff. It's really like here's Sonic, and then woof off to the left is bloody Sonic Underground. It was like the budget Sonic, and we had the same exact thing with Mario as well. It was I don't remember what the gimmick was, but it was Mario, but something, and those are the shows I had.
Sonic Underground.
Yeah, I don't know if
but something.
It's because I was watching those. All my friends were watching the real thing on Cartoon Network.
The premise of Sonic Underground is that Sonic and
What's the premise? I don't remember.
The premise of Sonic Underground is that he's in a rock band.
Yeah,
he's in a rock band, and there's like other hedgehogs that are like different colors and have stupid hair. And then there's like a green one with like
shit idea
hair that.
I remember though there was a
around,
mystery in it,
and he plays
it was
drums
all about
or something. It's a really bad.
Yeah. I remember the mystery was they needed to find out who Sonic's mother was, and I remember that because it was in the theme tune, right? You had to find out who his mother was. And see, now the channel I watched it on was so cheap, they never had the full season. They would just show repeat after repeat. So I never found out who Sonic's mother was.
Who gives a shit? Another hedgehog. Fucking hell. Yeah, in my day, mate, it was the track the equivalent of that was the Go Box to the Transformers.
Yeah.
Quite like the Go Box.
Is Sonic the Hedgehog wasn't actually the first Sonic cartoon. There was one before that which also sucked, which was called The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. And that cartoon was basically just your run-of-the-mill Cartoon Network fun time show with nothing significant happening. Like, it was trying to be funny, and Sonic's not funny, you know? Like, Robotnik had like these two robot sidekicks that were like basically like the equivalent of Bebop and Rocksteady, and they were always coming up with dumb ideas that Sonic would outsmart them. So that show wasn't really very fun either. But then the second show, Sonic the Hedgehog, that one was good.
It's always strange to me, like how they would take an IP and it never really sat well. They would used to take an IP and then only really use the aesthetics to push the IP and then come up with a completely different story to show to kids and then wonder why it would like fail. I suppose a good example of it working is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the cartoon. But I'd still really like to see like an animated version that's like the old comic. Like, you know, like they did with Spawn when they did the animated Spawn. I'd love to see the old school Turtles that they used to be in the comic. I'd love that.
No, I've always wanted that. Oh, I agree. I have fucking wet dreams about that because like there's something really unsatisfying for me about Ninja Turtles as much as I love it, because like when you watch people, I always say this, like you watch people fighting with swords and nobody gets cut, like that's some bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
Like they come up with really really peculiar excuses, like people's clothes getting pinned to the walls and shit. That's really,
Yeah.
like, even as a kid, you feel like your intelligence is being insulted. But I
There's
would push back a little bit. Like, despite having the violence toned down to a point where it's insipid,
yeah,
I think the cartoon show still respects the characters, and the stories are still like in line with fighting bad guys and being superheroes, whereas the Super Mario cartoons were not. Like, nobody that wrote those cartoons gave a shit about, fighting monsters or having real conflict or drama. Like, they just didn't. So it really begs the question of why these hackers were even contracted to write the show if when they didn't like it.
I don't know, man. Maybe they're the same people that did the last Matrix film.
I think
They
so,
just say
yeah.
anything on the pitch.
But like, I want to talk a little bit
Possible.
about the the Sonic, because it's really cool, right? Because when you're watching that as a kid, you're like, oh, the animals get transformed into robots, and
Yeah.
that's bad. And that's the dimension of the onion that you understand as a kid. You're like,
Yeah.
being a robot's bad, not being a robot's good. Sonic's uncle's a robot. They don't like that. They're trying to heal him. And then,
Yeah.
like, rewatching this recently, I realized, like, there's some really deep symbolism here. Because, like, there's a lot of weird shit going on with technology where it's brainwashing
Yeah.
and, like, getting caught up in what Big Brother tells them and what Facebook tells them, that's like evidently and blatantly not true. But then they just kind of become like robots, don't they? Like, how many
Yeah.
of your mates have just turned into like these NPCs where they're like, CDC guidelines say you have to wear 2 masks and all this bullshit. Like, those people that just believe this, like, verifiably false nonsense because a computer screen told them, those people are the Uncle Chucks of real life. They've been roboticized.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, that Twitter. Oh, bye, Ben.
Ben, we haven't heard how Sonic is a Christ-like figure yet. Come on.
Yeah. We haven't heard how Robotnik is an allegory for Satan and Beelzebub.
Yeah, haven't you heard in Psalms 3:6-5, Jesus had to go really fast?
With little red trainers on. There he is.
Well, I know that was the only thing I had prepared, was that little spiel about Mark Zuckerberg and roboticized people.
Hey, man, no, it's cool. I mean, it's interesting that the logo for Twitter is a little blue bird. Like, there are links everywhere.
I never even thought about that.
It is the job of this show to go exponentially deep into the cartoons that you thought were shallow.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to dig out shit that perhaps we put there.
Maybe it's conjecture, but
Yeah.
I think these children's cartoons are really profound.
Yeah. I'm going to put something in it, and then I'm going to pull that thing out and say it was there all along. But actually, mate, I think if you disassemble those sorts of things, like I'm on a fine art course at the moment, right? I'm on my final year, and I'm having to jump through hoops to get my teaching degree, right? One of the things that I've never done as an artist is overanalyze my work, like the aesthetic side. I think aesthetically, I when I come up with ideas, it's probably a mismatch of all the things that I've taken in, and then it's like an instinct. Now the course, obviously, because it's a part academic course, they want you to break down all your influences and sort of find out, why it is you're doing what you're doing, because that's the way we pass the course, right?
Right.
And there's far more meaning in a lot of things that intentional or unintentional than you realize when you break down how and why and what now. And I imagine that because cartoons are based on stories told by stories told by stories, there's way more shit in there than you realize, you know. And you're right. And it was in an era as well, probably it's the Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, where I bet it was around like the Terminator films as well, where they were thinking about the rise of technology as well. Everybody was scared about it then. They thought that robots were going to take over. It looks like now that we're going to like become part of them or get off with them.
Yeah. Well, like I think it's really fascinating because people back then instinctively were understood that there was a danger and that there was something potentially bad that could happen, but everyone thought it was going to manifest itself as actual robots that would be like dangerous to us, and so it wasn't exactly that. But there's something else happening that is dangerous and that is bad, and that I believe is what our instincts were telling us to be afraid of, which is just misinformation presented as
yeah,
as real information.
It's far
and
more
information presented as misinformation.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's right. It's a far slower and more incremental process as well.
Right.
I think we'll become the machines as opposed to fighting them. You'll slowly become that thing. I mean, the definition of a cyborg, like if you've got a mobile phone, you hit the criteria of the definition of a cyborg. Any technology that you rely on consistently and feel out of place when it's not around,
right?
That means you're a cyborg. It's just that the bit rate of data from the phone to your head is just exceptionally slow because it's going through your ear. But the only difference I would have to make aesthetically for you to think, oh, it's a cyborg, is to just plug the phone into your head. You're not that far away from it.
Right. Well, we're not that far from it. That may happen. And even if it doesn't happen, you're right. The dependence on a cell phone makes us cyborgs. It's like the video game of being a human being. You can't play it without a cell phone.
Yeah.
Fuck. I mean, everyone does business with their phones now. Anyone that's crowdfunded a comic book knows that if you're not on social media,
you're fucked.
Fucking forget about it. You're never going to make a dime. And then, so you have to use social media. You have to.
Yeah. There's no way around it.
You have to bank on your phone. The fucking airports scan your boarding pass on your phone now. You know what I mean? Like every goddamn thing you want to do, you need this device to do it. And yeah, that makes you a cyborg. We're all cyborgs, man. We're all basically.
Did Mario cover topics this existential?
Well, let's take a look.
I can't quit now, Luigi. I was born with a plunger in my hand. I know. Boy was awfully hard on Mom.
Clearly he did.
Yeah, it seems like he did.
Did you not just see that?
That was a pretty. I mean, that was like a haves and have-nots kind of comparison there. He was saying like he wasn't born with a silver spoon or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't
Shut
know.
up, Mario.
Shut up. Born with a plunger, and then Luigi says that was hard on his mom. That's
a bit. What?
That's rude. That's rude. So the Mario cartoon, I didn't find at all like insightful in that way, but I found it entertaining just because you could get away with a lot of stuff. Like, well, you
Really?
Really?
Well, in that case.
Was that girl blacked up?
No, I think she was dirty from like some other thing going wrong. But like,
what the fuck was going on there?
That looked like the Chuckle Brothers does Mario.
Yeah,
they're putting cake on this girl, but I don't know. She seemed to really be enjoying it.
Oh yeah,
and I have to wonder why they chose this beautiful buxom blonde with blue eyes and big tits for the role. I don't know. I don't know. That's conjecture, but
It is conjecture.
you know,
But
9-year-old
also, some conjecture can be correct, can't it? Who
9-year-old
wrote
Benny really liked that scene, and he didn't understand why. And 34-year-old Benny has an idea about why.
it? You like the cake, Rob?
Yeah. So like,
Good use of the word buxom.
so I've always
Yeah.
had like a fetish for rubbing cake on chicks that I have sex with. Now I know why. Now I know where it came from. But yeah, so so definitely, so I feel like Mario wins the video game, and
Yeah.
Sonic wins on cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I totally agree with that. What's next?
Nah.
Nah. You don't think Sonic wins on cartoons, are you?
Well,
I think he
Arya
wins
likes,
on both.
Arya likes the games.
Video game.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
It's all right, mate.
I think Sonic wins character design just
Hey,
based
Demon.
purely on the fact that Knuckles is a thing.
Yeah, Sonic.
Yeah,
Sonic, yeah, like I said, the aesthetic of Sonic, for me, all of it shits on Mario, like aesthetically. Like I obviously it's subjective, but I really like Sonic. He looks like he can go fast. Mario just looks a bit like my dad, frankly. A bit Saddam Hussein.
He just wears dungarees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him too, but like I thought it was pretty cool in Sonic, like the bad guys, like the mini bosses.
Yeah. Yeah, the machines.
Oh, I meant in Mario.
Oh,
Like,
Mario.
Like I thought it was cool in Mario how like you had like all of Bowser's, what were they, his nephews, right?
Yeah, the little dragon things. Also,
little people something.
I need to have an honourable mention of Wario, who I preferred to Mario because he smashed shit. Hey, Derek, how's it going, mate?
You like Mario because he's the wrong colors.
Yeah, you like the wrong color ones. I bet Knuckles is your favorite, right?
I don't mind Knuckles. Yeah, I'm not keen on Tails though. I'm not a Tails kind of guy.
Yeah, me neither.
He was a disappointing character.
What do you mean Tails was a disappointing character? What are you talking about?
I just felt like he was shit compared to Sonic in Sonic 2 when he came along. I was like, oh, it's this new character. And then when he turned up, I was like, oh, he's shit. he's just shit. He's just Sonic, but he floats off and then floats back on the screen. I just felt like he was shit.
Yeah, but Knuckles is the coolest character ever.
Yeah, if I'd got Knuckles at the time that Tails had turned up, I would have been happy. I like Knuckles.
Yeah, Knuckles was cool. So, like, in those games, so in order to play as Knuckles in Sonic 2 and Sonic 3, you had to own the fourth game, which is Sonic and Knuckles, right?
Yeah.
So, Sonic and Knuckles, you could open it up, and it had another cartridge port.
Oh, right.
And so, if you had both of the games, what you could do is you could put Sonic and Knuckles into your Mega Drive, open that port, put another game on top of that, either Sonic 2 or Sonic 3, and then you could play Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 as Knuckles.
Right. So it was like an add-on for the old games. That's cool.
Yeah, and those games had like different areas that only Knuckles could get to.
Right.
So that's how I always played. So I always played those games as Knuckles, and so like Knuckles always represented for me like being like taking the road less traveled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not doing things the obvious way or the way that's laid out, but like kind of figuring out your own way through life. That's maybe going to be more difficult, but it's also going to be more fun.
Yeah, I totally get you, mate. I think we have a similar philosophy on the sort of characters that we like for that reason.
Right, we do.
Although I never played as Knuckles. What was it? Did he have different powers? Could he
Well,
smash
Knuckles,
it?
yeah, Knuckles was cool because he could glide,
Cool.
so you could jump and glide, and also because when he would glide and hit a wall, he could walk up the wall. It's like he's putting his knuckles into making holes with his knuckles so he could climb up. So he could get to different areas that.
What's his story then? Because he's making an appearance in the next Sonic the Hedgehog film, right? And he looks like he's a bad guy.
Right. So he's basically Vegeta.
Ah, right.
He's Sonic's Vegeta. Like he starts out as Sonic's rival, and then they fight, and Sonic beats him, and then they become friends. But it's a little bit different because in the canon of the Sonic universe, the whatever iteration it is, it's always that Knuckles was deceived, and lied to, and he thought that Sonic was bad.
Right.
It's just kind of a dumb and silly gimmick, but it works.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that's what they're going to be doing in the film then.
Probably.
Yeah.
That live action Sonic looks like such shit to me. I didn't watch it.
You think so?
I haven't seen the original one.
What did you see it, Arya?
Yeah, I haven't watched the movies, but I've been planning to for ages because I think the new versions of them on screen look fucking incredible. There's like the best Sonic version visually.
I think he looks good. Like Sonic looks good, but one, it's got that thing that we were talking about earlier, that trope of bringing Sonic into the real world, which straight away I'm like, I don't want to see that. I want to see Sonic in the Green Valleys or going through the levels or whatever. I'm not interested in seeing that other shit.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm already on the back foot. I wasn't like, I thought Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik was fucking weird. And also, they fair play to them though, because they first came out with like a version of him, didn't they? Didn't that looked terrible, and the fans complained.
Well, he was like all hairy or something.
Yeah, his face was all weird as well, and they like.
You look like what I look like when I dress up as Tails in my fantasy playtime.
Yeah,
you look like a small furry person.
Yeah, really, that's a really odd choice to go that far off road with the design of the character. If you're just going to design the actual character, they did it with Turtles in the last couple, where they might give them like more human faces and like nose holes, and it was too fucking much, man. It was too much. Like, I really didn't like it.
I think the redesign they did looks perfect. It's just, it's the one you've got in the thumbnail, isn't it? It looks just like Sonic.
Yeah, it's the dude. Yeah, but like
it looks good, but
I'm just not a fan of bringing him into the real world, I suppose.
And the live action Mario was really weird.
That had realistic dinosaurs in it, didn't it?
Yeah. So what happened with that was they were making a Mario film, and just before or during the production, or just before the production, Jurassic Park came out. So the producers descended upon the making of the film and said, "You need to fist more dinosaurs into this film and try and make it as based around the dinosaurs as humanly possible." Apparently, Bob Hoskins was pissed drunk on set all the time because he knew the film was going to be dog shit, which is brilliant.
Yeah, but that's not taking it seriously, Arya. That's trying to cash in on a trend.
Yeah.
So
that it was such a weird time for those sorts of movies back then. Like if very, very rarely, or if ever, if there was ever a film based on a cartoon or a game, it was like more than likely it was terrible. I think an exception was probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one. Actually, a good film.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
Surprisingly good.
We should talk about Ninja Turtles soon on the show. Although Next week we'll do the Mandalorian.
We'll do the Turtles.
I mean the Boba Fett. What the fuck?
Well, it's pretty much become the Mandalorian, isn't it?
Well, he's more interesting than Boba Fett. But we'll get.
I have opinions. I'll save them though for next week.
Yeah. If we get started on that, we'll never get back to it.
Yeah.
But conclusion: most of the media doesn't seem to take the characters seriously or understand what's good about them, and just sees them as skins that they can make a quick buck from.
In it.
So that's why I haven't seen that movie, because that's my assumption about the movie. And Jim Carrey as Robotnik is just disrespectful.
He's disrespectful to Dr. Eggman. Best soundtrack.
Well, that's Sonic.
You think that's better than You have to do Superman and Star Wars film. Can you sing them both in unison?
So, like, the Mario music, that's like music that your mom likes, because it's like
yeah,
and she's heard it. You know what I mean? But like, it's not great. You know. But then Mario does have this, so.
Hey, paisanos! It's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show! We're the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's our game. We're not like the others who get all the fame. If your sink is in trouble, you can call us on the double. We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers. Hooked on the brothers.
Mate, that's fucking amazing.
So, I mean, you know, just throw in a little jerky 90s hip hop, and
I'm into it.
Mario brother. Hey, paisanos! You couldn't make that show today.
No chance.
As soon as he says, "Hey, paisanos,"
Cancelled.
Cancelled, yeah.
It's canceled.
Yeah, we expect your apology on Twitter in 20 minutes.
Isn't Chris Pratt playing the Italian plumber, Super Mario?
Is he, dude?
Yep.
That's bullshit, dude.
I think he is.
I don't want that, dude.
Well, you're getting it, boy. As far as I can tell, it's fully animated, so he'll just be doing the voiceover for it.
Well,
I wonder if he'll be doing the accent.
Wait a minute. Who did the voice of Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy?
Fucking hell, that
I
dude
know
from
the
Limitless.
face. Yeah, that's the guy.
Well, he might do all right. I mean, if it's just a voice acting gig, then it's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's already getting shit for it, I think. Who gives a fuck, man? Bob Hoskins was an Italian. Or a plumber.
Yeah, and I bet the guy who voices Sonic isn't even a hedgehog.
I know, yeah. And he's not blue.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Cancel culture is the worst thing in the world, dude.
It's hilarious.
No, but
isn't
Sonic...
everybody signing off Spotify at the moment because of Joe Rogan?
Oh yeah, because Joe Rogan had
An opinion.
super qualified experts on his show, but you're not allowed to do that because all scientists in the world always agree with each other 100%.
Yeah, every single time.
Like, you see what I mean? Like, people are getting fucking roboticized, dude, in real time. We're seeing it happen.
They're getting robotnicked.
I didn't know what that cartoon was about when I watched it as a kid, but now I know.
There you go. Sonic's won. Sonic predicted the future.
And it's got better music. And then like
I want to pop up like that.
every track on that game is a fucking banger. By the way, like you want to get to the next level to hear the next song. And I'm sorry, but that like boner that I get from that intro, Mario has never gotten anywhere close to that. So
fair enough. I like this. I've got a real soft spot for that the Sega as well. I love that. I've been meaning to incorporate that into this channel.
Oh, really?
At some point, yeah.
Yeah. That would be
Bedroom or something. I don't know.
I like that idea, and like the lines going across.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it as like synth and vaporwave as possible, man. Like I love all of that shit. I think it's brilliant.
I do like that too. But yeah, we've got a, and it's mostly my fault. But we this week we need to plug the show more all week and get people more interested, because this one's going to be good. This one's going to be interesting. We're talking about Boba Fett next week.
Yeah,
that'll be a big show. I think we'll get more views on that one than we did today.
Yeah, it's okay. Everybody had a bit of a false start the last couple of weeks.
That's true.
It's not a problem at all. Plus, I've been smashing out broken pages like there's no fucking tomorrow.
Oh well, that's the most important that you could be doing. So well done.
How's Taylor's going at Aria?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
January was a busy month for me. I had a few other like real life commitments that I had to prioritize. Like I've been applying for jobs, as an artist, and that comes with doing a lot of sample drawings and stuff. So I had to do those. And
what sort of jobs, man? What sort of jobs? Do tell.
I won't name the companies, but
I've got to name the company, just the type of job.
Illustrating, that sort of thing, concept art,
Oh, cool.
So that had to come first, but I also did a couple other CG things. Like I did the cover for Life on Korra, and I did something else. I don't remember what it was though. But basically, for anyone who's backed me for Tailless, I'm gonna include all that stuff somewhere in the Tailless campaign. So basically, I'm not like, if I'm taking time off to draw something else, you'll get it in the book somehow.
Wicked. That's amazing. Yeah. Nice one, dude.
Congrats, Matt. That's really good news.
Yeah. I'll give you another little live update on the Tailless campaign. Catch Tailless has been stuck in customs for the past over 2 weeks now. It's stuck in Coventry. We have had a nightmare with British customs. The figures are safe. They're just being held in customs, but they keep sending emails they need more information before they can release them. And the thing with British custom agents, they don't have a telephone number. They don't have an email address they respond to quickly. It's impossible to get in touch with them. So, that's what's been on my plate lately. I'll update everyone when they finally get here.
Oh, mate, that's gutting.
I know.
You'll get past it.
I know. They'll be here, though. And I saw Latif show them off last time you guys streamed. And, dude, they look cool. I'm so excited.
Don't they? Yeah. They look really good.
I like Latif a lot.
He's a cool guy.
If we can get him, I'm wondering if we should change the time of the show, because like I feel like we had more viewers and more action going on. Like, although now nobody's watching.
Right. It all depends on the subject and how much you push the show before the show airs.
Yeah, we didn't push this one enough. That was our bad. But we will do from now on. That's all. Yeah, I think the time's okay. But yeah, Latif's really cool, right? So like maybe if we can get him more involved with us.
Well, would you want to go later? You know what? End the fucking show. We'll talk about this after.
You're
Sonic
right.
wins.
Why are we doing our fucking housekeeping
Yeah.
in front of an live audience?
Yeah.
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.